You step outside into your backyard, just like you do every morning. The door creaks, your foot hits the deck, and in that single second, everything changes. Your birds see you, not in the vague way you might think, not some simple human alert. Inside their brains, a lightning storm explodes. Neurons fire, memories flood, decisions lock in. In less time than it takes you to blink, they know exactly who you are, what you've done before, and what you might do next. That chickadee on the feeder, it's not just grabbing breakfast, it's running a full profile on you. That robin tilting its head on the fence, it's updating a map of your every move. They've been watching you longer than you realize, and they remember. What you're about to hear is going to feel a little eerie, because it turns out the birds in your backyard aren't just visitors. They're observers. They're thinkers. And the moment they spot you coming outside, something incredibly sophisticated begins inside those small feathered heads. Stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll finally understand what your birds have been doing behind your back all this time, and why they'll never look at you the same way again. Let me tell you what happened to me last spring in my own backyard, the same kind you probably have right now. I started feeding a small flock of black-capped chickadees every morning. At first, it felt simple. I'd walk out, scatter some sunflower seeds, and they'd flutter in. But after a few weeks, something shifted. I noticed one particular chickadee, the one with a tiny nick in his tail feather, would always land on the same branch the second my door opened. Not when I stepped out. The instant the handle turned. He wasn't just reacting to the sound of food, he was waiting for me. That's when I started paying closer attention. And that's when the first revelation hit me. Here's what you've probably noticed too. When you walk outside, some birds fly away immediately, while a few others stay put watching you. You think they're just braver. They're not. The surprising truth is this. The second your birds see you, their brains trigger an instant recognition system more advanced than most people realize. They don't just see a human. They see you specifically. University of Washington researcher John Marsluff proved this in remarkable detail. He wore the same mask while trapping crows, then released them. Years later, those crows and their offspring still recognized that exact face and scolded it aggressively even when the person wasn't doing anything threatening. Their brains had filed away a detailed memory of the individual human and passed that memory down. Your backyard birds are doing the exact same thing, just on a smaller, quieter scale. Inside their brain, a region called the nidopallium caudolateral lights up like a switchboard. It's their version of our prefrontal cortex. In that split second, they match your shape, your walk, your routine against thousands of stored encounters. They're asking, is this the safe human who brings seed, or the one with the loud mower? That is not a metaphor. That tiny head, no bigger than a walnut, is running facial recognition, threat assessment, and social memory all at once. And here's what makes it personal. They've already decided what kind of human you are. But that was only the beginning, because once they recognize you, something even more incredible starts happening inside their brains. Once they recognize you, their brain doesn't stop at identification. It immediately starts predicting your next move. You've seen it. You walk toward the feeder and certain birds don't flush. They hop to a higher branch and wait. Others disappear completely. What looks like random fear is actually split-second decision-making based on your personal history with them. The surprising fact is that birds update their mental map of you in real time. The moment they see you, dopamine and norepinephrine flood specific areas of their brain, sharpening focus and tagging the memory with emotional weight. Safe human equals food opportunity. Unpredictable human equals caution. Cornell Lab of Ornithology researchers have documented how songbirds possess remarkable episodic-like memory. They remember not just what happened, but when and where. Your chickadee doesn't just know you as the seed guy. It knows you usually come out around 8:30, that you sometimes carry a coffee mug in your left hand, and that on Tuesdays you mow the lawn. Before we go deeper, you need to know one key thing about how birds actually think. Bird brains are nothing like what we imagined even 20 years ago. First, they pack enormous neuron density. A bird's brain has roughly twice the neurons per cubic millimeter compared to a mammal of the same size. That little chickadee brain? It holds more processing power than you'd expect from an animal the size of your fist. Second, they have a highly developed hippocampus for spatial memory. This lets them remember hundreds of food cache locations and, more importantly, hundreds of human patterns. Third, the archopallium handles complex decision-making and emotional responses, similar to our amygdala but faster for survival. Fourth, they possess theory of mind to a surprising degree. They understand that you have intentions. They can tell if you're paying attention to them or distracted. Fifth, mirror neurons fire when they watch you, helping them anticipate your actions by simulating them internally. And sixth, their vision is extraordinary. Birds see more colors than we do, including ultraviolet patterns on your clothes that we can't even detect. In that first second, they're reading a version of you that is far more detailed than you realize. Try this simple test in your own yard today. Walk outside wearing the exact same jacket you always wear. Then tomorrow, switch to a bright red shirt you rarely wear. Watch how different the reaction is. The birds will tell you immediately how closely they've been studying you. If you want to understand what your birds are really doing, thinking, and remembering, subscribe. No sponsorships. Just the secret life of the birds in your backyard. But that was only the surface, because what happens next inside their brain is where this story gets truly mind-blowing. Now here's where it gets personal. The second your bird sees you, it's not just reacting, it's choosing you. That tiny brain is deciding, right then, whether to trust you today, whether to signal your presence to the rest of the flock, whether to remember this exact encounter as safe or one to watch more carefully next time. This is the deeper payoff. Your backyard isn't just a place where birds visit. It's a living network of minds that have been mapping you for months, sometimes years. Every time you step outside, you're walking into a silent conversation that's been going on without you knowing. Imagine this, that pair of cardinals nesting near your fence. They don't just see a human. They see the human who left the sprinkler on last week, creating that perfect puddle they bathed in. They remember the exact tone of your voice when you talk to your dog. They've built an emotional file on you, complete with risk and reward. University of Washington studies on crows showed something even more astonishing. Birds don't just remember faces. They teach their young who to trust and who to fear. That means the knowledge your birds have about you is being passed down through generations. The fledglings born in your yard this spring already carry a version of your reputation before they've even left the nest. That is not a metaphor. In the moment they spot you, oxytocin-like peptides and stress hormones balance in their brains, tipping the scale toward curiosity or caution. Their hearts actually beat faster or slower depending on who you are to them. And here's what it means for you, those birds you see every day. They know you better than most of your neighbors do. They've been studying your routines, your moods, your generosity. When you feel like no one notices the little things you do in your yard, your birds have been keeping score. This changes everything about that quiet moment when you step outside. You're not just filling a feeder. You're stepping into a relationship that's been quietly building, one glance at a time. But wait, because once you understand this, you start to wonder, can you actually influence what they think of you? Can you change the way their brains light up when they see you coming? That's exactly what we're going to explore next. So what should you actually do with all of this? Start today, right now in your own backyard. First, become a predictable friend. Birds love consistency. Choose one specific time each day to step outside and offer food. Same jacket, same gentle voice, same slow movements. Their brains will tag you as reliable, and you'll notice more birds staying instead of fleeing. Within 2 weeks, you'll see the difference. Second, speak to them. Yes, actually talk. Use the same calm phrase every time morning, friends or here's breakfast. Their auditory memory is excellent. Studies show songbirds remember individual human voices. They'll start associating your voice with safety and food long before they even see you. Third, change one small thing at a time. Want to get closer? Place food on the ground first, then gradually move the feeder nearer to where you stand. Let them update their mental map of you at their own pace. Rush it, and their caution centers light up again. Fourth, give them variety. Sunflower seeds are great, but add mealworms, suet, or even a shallow water dish. Different birds value different rewards. You'll quickly learn who trusts you most. The bold ones will become your regulars. The shy ones will watch from the trees and slowly join. Fifth, observe without staring. Direct eye contact can feel threatening. Instead, use soft sideways glances. Let them see you looking at the trees or the sky. This simple body language tells their brains you're not hunting them. Try this tonight or tomorrow morning. Go outside empty-handed at first. Stand still for 30 seconds. Then slowly scatter a handful of seeds while saying your usual greeting. Film it on your phone if you can. Watch their reactions frame by frame. You'll see that first-second assessment happening in real time. The head tilt, the quick eye movement, the decision to stay or go. Do these things consistently, and something beautiful happens. Your backyard stops being a place you visit. It becomes a place where you're known. The birds will start anticipating you. Some will even call to others when you appear. You'll step outside and feel like you're walking into a small, living community that recognizes you. These aren't just tricks. They're ways to shift the balance inside their brains from caution to curiosity. And when you do this, you'll be ready for the final layer of this story, the one that turns quiet observation into something that feels almost magical. And here's the final truth that stays with you long after you step back inside. The second your bird sees you coming outside, something quietly profound happens. In that lightning-fast moment inside its brain, it doesn't just recognize you. It chooses once again to let you into its world. All those tiny decisions, the head tilt, the soft call, the choice to stay instead of fly, add up to something bigger. Your backyard has become a shared space. Not just yours, not just theirs. A living, breathing connection between two very different minds that have learned to understand each other. You are no longer just the giant who brings seed. You are part of their story now. The cardinals might sing a little brighter when you appear. The chickadees might land closer, almost as if saying hello in their own quiet language. The robins watch you with calmer eyes. They know you. They remember you. And in their own remarkable way, they trust you. That is the real revelation. These small, brilliant creatures with brains the size of a walnut have been paying attention all along. They see more of you than most people ever will. They notice your patience. They notice your kindness. And every single time you step outside, they remind you that wonder is right there in your own yard, watching back. So tomorrow morning, when you open that door and feel that familiar pause in the air, smile. Because in that exact second, dozens of tiny minds are lighting up with recognition. They're updating their map of you. They're choosing you again. And now you finally understand what's really happening inside a bird's brain the moment it sees you coming outside. If you want to understand what your birds are really doing, thinking, and remembering, subscribe. No sponsorships, just the secret life of the birds in your backyard. Go outside today. Talk to them. Watch them. Let them watch you. Because the most beautiful relationship in nature might already be waiting just beyond your back door. I'll see you out there.